Now at 6, an investigation launched. A mother in court today after her son was reported to have a terminal illness. We're live with what we know so far. Plus a tie-breaking vote from the State Board of Education leaving many teachers upset.
It's clear that what we have to say doesn't matter.
The fear this brings to some parents and teachers and why the superintendent says it was a bad call.
And we're heading into a crisp, cool weekend. I'll have the forecast hour by hour. The news starts now.
From the station that's on your side, this is Channel 7 News, awarded the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Newscast Excellence.
Now at 6, new developments in the story of 10-year-old Louis Schneider. Back in February, local police and fire officials lined the streets as he was escorted to Arkansas Children's Hospital.
Well, now that child's mother, Christy Schneider, is under investigation. Channel 7 was there as she and her husband entered the Saline County Courthouse today. Court officials confirming to KATV the Schneiders entered the courtroom of a juvenile cases judge. Shelby Rose joins us now from there to break down exactly what we know. Shelby?
Chris and Beth, just in the last couple hours, we've learned that Christy and Eric Schneider appeared in Judge Gary Arnold's courtroom, and he is the Division II Circuit Court judge who oversees all cases regarding abused and neglected children. However, we don't know the exact nature of these proceedings because they have been closed off to the public. But we do know that a search warrant has been conducted at their residence off Skyline Drive in Alexander. As of right now, the details surrounding this search warrant are vague. Both that document and the affidavit of probable cause have been sealed off by a judge, and it is unknown at this time if anything was taken from the home. But just this afternoon, the Schneiders were seen walking into the Saline County Courthouse, and we asked for comment as they entered the building. Christy Schneider, do you have any comment regarding the search warrant conducted on your property yesterday? Or why are you in court today? Any comment regarding the search warrant on your property?
Ma'am, do you understand no comment?
And we reached out to the Department of Human Services regarding Louis and his adoptive parents, but by law, they have declined to comment. Chris.
All right, Shelby Rose for us tonight. Shelby, thank you. Christy Schneider frequently updated her followers about her son's condition on a blog and her personal Facebook page. That Facebook page was recently taken down.
Your Metro First Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Barry Brandt.
I love this time of year in downtown Little Rock along Main Street. Look at the beautiful lights, the kind of the excitement of a Friday night, people starting to flow into downtown here, and it feels a little bit like the holidays, a little too cool for this time of year. Let's take a look at where the temperatures have fallen to. We were in the mid-50s today. Now it's down in the mid-40s, and those temperatures will continue to fall down into the upper 20s. So just like today, we'll start out frosty, and then we'll move up into the mid-50s for highs for tomorrow. Clear skies tonight, and really, this is a good football weekend. It's crisp autumn air. We're going to have some specific football forecasts for you coming up. Our Middleton weather cam is looking at downtown, and it is gorgeous this time of the year. Sun just leaving the sky, the last little bit of light there. Tonight's forecast down to 28 here, and 30 over at Hot Springs, 27 at Pine Bluff tomorrow, followed by a nice warming trend up to 55. The wind's not too strong. It's not too strong right now, so it feels pretty nice, but a big coat if you're headed out to high school football. More on those specific game forecasts, plus a look hour by hour through the weekend. And we're going to be talking about what else just made an appearance in downtown Little Rock earlier this afternoon, coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thanks, Barry. After hundreds of Little Rock teachers hit the picket lines yesterday, some are wondering today if state leaders are listening. Alex Birch tells us what changes are coming to the district after a tie-breaking vote this morning. Alex, tell us what happened.
Well, the state board made some changes to the Personnel Policy Committee, or PPC. The PPC is a group of teachers who advocate, but they don't have collective bargaining power. And the board made this change despite concerns from both leaders and parents.
And disappointing. You guys do not care.
A security guard escorts someone out of the meeting Friday.
Heartbreaking.
This happened after she asked the board to take public comment before voting.
It just really validates the frustration and the anger that we have had about the fact that they don't care about our input.
The Arkansas State Board of Education voted to expand the Personnel Policy Committee, or PPC, in Little Rock. They voted without hearing public comment first.
Every building would have representation,
And I just think that is so important.
Chairperson Diane Zook broke the tie. Now the PPC will have a teacher from every building. That's about 40 people. But the district had already moved forward to create an 8-person PPC. Nominations were just about to be announced.
We're going to have to go back and regroup at this point.
Superintendent Mike Poore says the board made a mistake. And Commissioner Johnny Key also advised against expanding the PPC.
But in the end, I think the important thing is there will be a PPC. It's just going to be a few weeks later.
Parents say if the board had only heard them first, they might have been able to change at least one mind.
It is laughable for you all to talk about community engagement in Little Rock when you will not listen to what the people have to say.
And they say expanding the PPC wasn't about more representation. It was about diminishing union members' voices. Superintendent Poore says now they most likely won't have a PPC in place by January. Beth.
Okay, Alex Birch reporting tonight. Alex, thank you. The board also voted to postpone discussion about their plan to return local control until next month.
Well, now to Governor Hutchinson. He weighed in today on all of this, speaking candidly about yesterday's strike and the reason he believes the state is required to maintain some control of the LRSD. Here's Janelle Lilly.
Called out by name during Thursday morning's teacher strike, Governor Asa Hutchinson responding to some who compared him to Orville Faubus, the governor who initially prevented the Little Rock Nine from entering Central High School.
I'm here fighting today to keep the Little Rock School District open and strong and available to every student, regardless of race or income level. You've got others that were trying to close the school yesterday.
Protesters calling for a unified school district without state control. But the governor says that could put the state at odds with the courts.
There are those that say, forget Lakeview, just give us back to local control, regardless of the status of education. Well, that's really abandoning the fundamental principle of the Lakeview decision. If that's the direction we want to go in education, then you're going to have to take that up with the courts for one thing.
State Senator Joyce Elliott argues that more schools are failing today than when the state took over 5 years ago. Protesters are crying out, but not being heard.
We have all of these meetings and people go and they participate and basically nothing changes. So we don't have a communication problem so much as we have, I think, a deliberate listening and caring about what people are saying to you and acting on it.
And the governor also questioning the purpose of the strike. He says if it's to protect the union, the state board was, quote, fairly expressive in its earlier decision. And if it's about local control, the school board election is already set. Chris.
All right, Janelle Lilly, thanks so much. The governor also said today he is considering bringing the MLK committee into the discussion about the future of LRSD as a possible way, at least, to improve communications. Well, if you want to hear more from the governor and from Senator Elliott as well, both will be on Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock Sunday morning at 9:30 right here on Channel 7. Well, the Wheel of Fortune's Wheelmobile is in town.
How you can apply to be part of the show after the break.
Channel 7 News at 6. Brought to you by Hank's Fine Furniture. Weather Cams. Sponsored by Middleton Heat and Air. From the weather team with the most experience, this is Chief Meteorologist Barry Brandt.
Hey, one of my favorite times of year, and if you come in over the holiday season to downtown Little Rock, drive up Main Street because the crews here have lit all of the trees here along Main Street. It is beautiful. If only we could get a little snow here. Wouldn't that be fun? Well, it is. It's kind of wishful thinking for a little while. Not quite cold enough for that now, but hopefully we'll get some snow this time of the year. And the other thing is, folks, The Christmas tree arrived today. Not as big as ones in years past, but it looks like they're going to plant this one, so it'll be a permanent addition to the downtown area here. So we've got some good things going on in downtown, and we're coming into that season. Certainly starts to feel like winter time. Right now, it's good football weather tonight, and there's a lot of high school football going on. Steve Sullivan will have the latest on the high school games on Friday night touchdowns tonight at 10 o'clock. Whitehall at Lakeside, starting off at 46, dropping down to 42 degrees. And Truman at Robinson out on Highway 10, starting at 44, headed down to 40 degrees by the end of the game. Now, if you have plans this weekend, it should be dry both days. Saturday, 55, 58 on Sunday. A few more clouds that day. I think Sunday would be warmer than that, except for those few scattered clouds. Our next weather maker, it's a long way down the road. It's next Thursday. Another frontal boundary coming in with clouds, and it looks like it will have some opportunity for some rainfall as it shuffles right on through the state, but that'll be the one that comes on through. And again, the models are kind of showing some rainfall along with that one, along with the temperature drop. Tomorrow morning, frosty to get up, 33 at 8 a.m. and noontime at 48, and 53 degrees at 2 and at 4. Right now we are at 45. Temperatures are going to fall fairly rapidly tonight. So even if you don't feel like you need a big coat now, you're going to be headed out, you do. Middleton Weather Cam showing clear skies over the downtown. It's a gorgeous night here. We've got nothing going on rainfall-wise through the day tomorrow. And then on Sunday, a front comes through. Now, I said it's basically a dry weekend. This front comes through almost without any moisture. Those radar returns there across North Arkansas, I think those are doubtful, but I got to tell you that it's at least a possibility for a few sprinkles there. Mainly, though, it's a dry weekend. It starts tonight, clear and cold with a low of 28, and then tomorrow's high up to 55. It's almost identical to today. Beyond that, though, there is warmer air in advance of that next front. Remember, I showed you it was coming in Thursday and Friday with rain chances and temperatures falling back behind it. But in the meantime, temperatures will go up into the mid-60s on Wednesday. And a reminder to you on Saturday there that the Wheel of Fortune will be out at Shackelford Crossing. The Wheelmobile is in town. It's a fun time. And if you've ever thought about trying to be on the wheel, you might want to go out there and try out. Let's take a look at our weekend weather scale then. It's going to be so good. Not warm like it should be or mild like it should be, but with all the clear skies, it's going to be an 8 on the weekend weather scale. I hope everybody enjoys it and enjoy these lights along Main Street at least once during the Christmas season.
It looks beautiful. It looked even better when the snow was falling. I'm sorry it stopped. I was hoping we could run out and catch some,
you ready for some real
flakes.
Snow?
Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Well, as Barry mentioned just a few hours ago, the Wheel of Fortune Wheelmobile did arrive in Little Rock. This bus travels around the nation to find contestants for Wheel of Fortune.
And here's your chance to be on the show. Tomorrow, the bus will be at the Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield location at Shackelford Crossing Shopping Center from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Applications for the show will start an hour before the event.
Well, still to come here tonight, we'll talk about helping families across Central Arkansas this holiday season.
How the Salvation Army is stepping up and how you can too after the break. White slips of paper hang from the Salvation Army tree on McCain Mall and each hold a child's wish for Christmas. It's a tradition the Salvation Army has been doing for years. Shoppers can adopt an angel from their tree and help those families who applied for the program have toys and clothes during the holidays.
We're trying to raise $400,000 to help the people here in Central Arkansas, and we will help out about 2,500 angels around our area.
But that's not the only way the Salvation Army collects donations. You're probably most familiar with their iconic red kettles. The group has been using them for over 125 years. This time, they're also providing new ways for Arkansans to help out the community. The Salvation Army says they're using technology to help raise more money. This year, stations have QR codes and Apple Pay. Now shoppers can put their phone against the signs and instantly make a donation. The Salvation Army says they'll have kettle stations until December 24th.
Sports is up next here. It is playoff time in the high school ranks.
And the NFL rules on an ugly incident last night in the Browns-Steelers game.
Beyond.
From the Arkansas Select Buick GMC Sports Desk, here's Steve Sullivan.
When that game is over with, okay, if you want to shake hands, that's fine. But once it's done, I want either 5 of you 10 of you, 20 of you, or all of you to run your down there and get that boot. Great defensive play. Clutch passing by Brandon Allen. And now the Hawks can focus on going to a ball game. Back to you, Kyle.
Oh, hard to believe that was 5 years ago today, and it's hard to believe what's happened since. It's playoff time for Friday Night Touchdowns. Here's Kyle and Chad Hooten.
Well, Sully, I'm headed over to PA tonight, and Chad Hooten, you are headed up to Atkins. Naturally, Little Rock Christian's the only place to meet because I can't go a Friday night with trying to pick your brain here, especially as we begin playoffs. Let's start in 7A. I think the sort of the shift in power is up there, right? We know Bryant's up top, but then schools like Catholic, like Cabot, that sort of middle tier power may be in sway tonight.
Well, I think so, and for proof, the only road team we're predicting to win in 7A is Cabot tonight up at Fayetteville, favored by 7 points. You know, Fayetteville's got great history and tradition. They've only won 5 games this year, which is their fewest in a decade. Cabot's got a great quarterback. He was on the bench last year when they were running the dead T, Tyler G, junior quarterback. We think they can win up there. Bentonville's undefeated. They've got a great defense, but I think it's the 3-team race in 7A. Bryant, Bentonville maybe, and North Little Rock.
Good race in 6A.
Yeah, I think so. Benton already beaten Greenwood. Those 2 teams, maybe Searcy has come on strong, and West Memphis is over there in the east. So, but I think Benton and Greenwood are probably the top 2.
5A, I think where we are right now in Pulaski Academy are on a crash course again.
Well, perhaps. It's a 3-team race. Little Rock Christian, PA, and Harrison. One of those 3 will be eliminated next week when PA goes to Harrison, which Harrison has lost to PA in the playoffs the last 2 years, but it was pretty close last time.
Boy, and you've got 3 teams in 4A. That's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Nashville, Arkadelphia, Robinson, and, you know, there's some other teams there that can make a move. It's pretty wide open. 3A, you got Prescott and Rising at the top, but it's close there as well, I think.
I think this is going to be a fun night. Sully?
All right, thank you, guys. I love A-State's uniform choice tomorrow. A nod to the military. This tweet from Arkansas State football. We get to play a game tomorrow because of their sacrifice. Thank you to all our heroes in uniform. A bizarre ending to last night's NFL game. The Browns' Myles Garrett wrestles Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph to the ground. Garrett gets flagged for ripping off Rudolph's helmet. And watch this. A big roundhouse swing with that helmet connects with Rudolph. Today, Garrett was suspended for at least the rest of the season, the longest in NFL history for a single on-field incident. Garrett did apologize today, saying he made a terrible mistake. Well, the NCAA South Central Cross Country Regional. How about this? Arkansas with a perfect score. They had the top 5 finishers. On the men's side, Arkansas was second. We're talking high school football. Get on that Catholic High jersey. They're at home tonight. All the highlights coming your way later. More news in just a minute.
Channel 7 Sports Desk is sponsored by your Arkansas Select Buick GMC dealers.
Well, that wraps it up for Channel 7 News at 6 o'clock.
We'll see you back here tonight at 10 for Friday Night Touchdowns. Have a great night.